Gentlemen, I want to show you something. I want to show you what it's like. Even as an old man, as a simp motherfucker, what it's like to be a simp. Let's just go on with the fucking program here.
We started dating when the car was only, what, about 8 months old? I didn't care about cars, so, and I'll tell you this early on, if you're gonna date a girl to love your car, it is not me. I am not the one.
How you stuck for so many?
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, gentlemen? Basically, what she's there for is to crush your dreams and your fucking hopes. See that shit? Now, when you look at this fucking car, back in the day, this car was ass and titties. Okay? Not no points intended. But this car was the shit back in the day.
Years and finally sell.
So how long has it been here?
We're gonna see, including the price paid.
How long has it been sitting?
Uh-huh.
John and Graham bought this car brand new. LaPointe Chevrolet, February 14th, 1966, $2,870 cash.
He just would not move on it. And so it sat for years and years and years. And now,
Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why this car sat for years and years and years and years. Because you crushed his hopes and dreams of making this car what he wanted it to be. Gentlemen, pay attention.
A rust
I think it was last registered in 80.
I don't know. A rust what?
ball. A rust ball. A rust heap. A heap of rust.
Which means to say that she didn't give a shit about his dreams of making this car a better thing. See how manipulative this is? He's even laughing his ass off because he got screwed out of his dreams and hopes. There's no hopes for these fucking people. None whatsoever. This fucking chick right here, which she's not even a fucking 2, and him, he's about as stupid as a motherfucker. Wow. I cannot explain how fucking dumbass this guy is. He couldn't live his dreams and his hopes because he had the female to crush it. Let's go on.
It's got an 88, but I don't think it was.
I didn't drive it then.
No date on this old photo, but it's a black and white.
Did people spy it and then come up and knock on the door?
They did, and I would have sold it. I said, I will sell that car to you.
Now listen, see? Now listen. This is the guy's hopes and dreams to make this car look really fucking awesome. Do you see how this works out, gentlemen? This chick right here, she's a fucking cobra, a viper. She basically cut his balls off. Now look at it. Look at that car.
But you probably have to talk to my husband first. So that's where it all ended.
Or did he?
Oh yeah, out of the respect thing. Okay. But you know, as a matter of fact, this motherfucker dropped dead tomorrow. You fucking sell the motherfucker, you snake. Fucking bitch.
Get a pretty good offer? Or did they just?
No, we never,
No, we never got that far.
No.
I told him up front it was not for sale, and that was it. That was it.
Yeah, see what he's thinking? He's thinking he can actually do something with this car. He wants to do something with it because he's a man. He should be able to fucking do that. But no, you got that fucking snake of a fucking viper woman of yours. What a bitch.
And I came out here one day, and the windows were steamed up. And I drilled holes in the floor to let the water out. And then I said, well, I better cover it. Well, I covered it because it's not in a garage, and it stayed covered. And I think that contributed a lot to the rust. Jonathan said this was one of the better ones he'd seen. I don't know what that means.
What the,
What that means is that it's still a nice body and it still can be repaired. What he did was he neglected it because he's a baby boomer piece of shit and he wanted to fucking start his own family and the woman didn't give a shit about his dreams. This is exactly what I'm talking about, gentlemen. Exactly what the fuck I'm talking about here.
that means is, you can call your own car junk, but you don't want somebody else doing that. Real car people don't run down cars. They like them. They want them. They like to gather records of the car's origins and history. Vintage family photos are great.
No, there's more somewhere, but I haven't come across them yet.
Look, you see this guy with the beard? He's laughing at this motherfucking fool. He's laughing at this motherfucking fool because he's got a business that does this shit.
She was pregnant with Monty.
1970.
Oh, look at that douchebag. Look what that car used to look like.
Twin sister and the Chevelle.
Look what it used to look like.
Leave the car parked over 3 decades?
I was gonna fix it up like everybody else does. Put bigger brakes on it, put, things on it, fix it, and that just, so many things got in the way.
You want to know what those too many things were, asshole? That fucking female you're taking care of. That fucking dragon, that fucking snake. Yeah. That's what got in the fucking way.
So it never happened.
The son has
Yeah, it never happened. That's the reason why. That fucking snake that you call your wife, she's the one that fucking did it to you, motherfucker.
baked off that merino blue paint. I bet that tree wasn't even a seed when this car was planted.
Good golly.
And I really hated the bucket seats. I thought,
Oh, you hate the bucket seats. Well, no one gives a fuck what you think, bitch.
that was just dumb.
Oh, boy.
But then I had to sit in the middle of the gear shift.
Why were you sitting in the middle of the gear shift? To get a blowjob? What the fuck were you doing, bitch?
And that was not, really comfortable all the time.
And the original gear shift knob is in the trunk.
Gentlemen, do you see this shit right now? Do you see what I'm witnessing right now? This guy's dreams and hopes were completely crushed because of that snake of a fucking wifey he's fucking got.
This is aftermarket.
And it's got the thing for reverse lockout. Crank it up.
Which I spent a lot of our time in our courtship was in the car. And it was hard to really be romantic, but here I sit as close to him as I can. And then he told me that I should sit in my seat because it was a safety factor.
See, this is just the reason why men are opting out of every fucking thing. See, my 2006 Mustang ain't much to look at. I mean, it's a beautiful fucking car. But I don't have a lady like this telling me what the fuck to do. I can do what I want to do, live my life.
And then I decided there was another girl involved in.
Oh, see, gentlemen, see, look, even this dumbass, he's laughing about it. Like, there was no other girl involved. Even though there probably was, maybe there wasn't, who knows. But she was jealous of that fucking car, and guess where it sat? In his backyard collecting rust.
He was trying to see if he remembered how to.
It's been a while. There it is. 396.
You hear that shit? You hear all the rust falling off of it? This car could have been a badass mama fucking jamma. But you let that fucking female get involved, which I think is bullshit.
He was getting ready to break up, but that was not true.
Oh, he should have. He really should have. Look at you. You look like a mummy.
I was just having a little fantasy.
A jealous streak because of that car was better than you in every fucking way, shape, or form.
Look, your radiator's going.
It's in the trunk. I took it out because
Gentlemen, I can't watch this anymore because to me it seems like this guy could have said fuck that bitch and he could have had a better car and had any bitch he ever wanted. Or not had a bitch at all and just completely, done himself. Better job, better opportunities, better things to come along. Have kids down the road later on down the road. I mean, I get it, being MGTOW, we don't really talk about these kind of things. But he could have had anybody he wanted. Instead, he chose for this piece of shit mummy bitch that isn't even a 2, let alone a 1 at her age. All right, gentlemen. This is Roach MGTOW Soldier in the house. I love you guys. Hoorah! Over and out.